The rugged mountains surrounding Palm Springs, California have claimed many lives over the years, and these treacherous peaks would also take someone whose death would devastate one of the most famous entertainers in history, a loss that would change him forever. Hey everybody, thanks for joining us here at Traces of Hollywood. Today we're covering the death of Frank Sinatra's mother, who perished in a plane crash near Palm Springs, California in January of 1977. Also, at the end of this video, I'm going to reveal the chilling similarities between this crash and another celebrity's family tragedy that occurred in these very same mountains. So what really happened on that dismal winter morning, and why was Frank's mother, Dolly, on this ill-fated flight? Is the biggest part of this tragedy the fact that it could have been avoided? Let's find out together. Natalie Dolly Sinatra was a force of nature, a former speakeasy operator, political activist, and one of the first women in Hoboken, New Jersey to get her driver's license. There's even an Italian cultural lodge named after her here in Palm Springs. She was incredibly close to her son Frank, who was said to have called her multiple times a day. On Thursday, January 6, 1977, Frank was scheduled to perform at a concert in Las Vegas. Frank had arranged for his mother Dolly to fly on a private Learjet 24B from Palm Springs Municipal Airport so she could attend the show. At 4:55 p.m. local time, the Learjet took off into deteriorating weather conditions. At 4:58 p.m., it appeared on air traffic control radar screens, and just 2 minutes later, all aboard the jet were dead. Passengers included Frank's mother as well as her friend Ann Carboni, and the pilots Donald Wire, 36, and Gerald Foley, 33, both of Las Vegas. Just minutes after takeoff, something went terribly wrong. The NTSB report indicates the aircraft was flying at just under 10,000 feet when it slammed into a ridge of the San Gorgonio mountain range, approximately 22 miles northwest of Palm Springs. The impact was catastrophic at around 325 miles per hour ground speed, resulting in no survivors. Frank learned of the crash while preparing for the Vegas show, waiting anxiously before taking the stage after learning that the flight was more than an hour late, and the limo driver had called saying the pair had never shown up for their ride. Frank performed with 2 empty seats remaining in the front row. The weather that day was treacherous. The NTSB report noted that visibility was poor, with cloud ceilings as low as 300 feet in some areas. Mountains were obscured by clouds and light rain. Compounding this danger, the pilots misinterpreted the altitude air traffic control had cleared them for, keeping their flight level below the height of the approaching mountains. This combination of factors would prove fatal. It took 3 days for the snowstorms on the mountain to subside enough for a helicopter crew to spot the crash site. The helicopter was hired by the same company who Frank had leased the Learjet from. Rescue teams found the wreckage and bodies strewn over a 200-foot area. The NTSB's investigation revealed several crucial factors that contributed to the tragedy. The official cause was cited as controlled flight into terrain during climb to cruise, but an investigator put it more succinctly by writing, "The accident occurred, in my opinion, because of non-standard and non-professional clearances and transmissions on the part of both the controller and the pilot." Terrifying facts were revealed, namely that the departure route took them directly towards rising terrain and poor visibility, and that recordings revealed there was no time for even a distress call from the aircraft. This was a textbook case of what pilots call continuation bias, the crew's determination to complete the flight despite deteriorating conditions that should have prompted them to abort. Frank's wife Barbara was reported to have said years later how Frank carried the guilt of arranging that flight for the rest of his life, and that he would stare out the window towards the mountains that claimed Dolly's life. Dolly was buried at Desert Memorial Park Cemetery near Palm Springs 3 days after her body was recovered, and those close to Frank say he was never the same. It is said he would often visit the cemetery, sitting there alone at her grave for hours. And today, his own grave rests just feet away from hers. A tragic coincidence, on March 21, 1987, Dean Martin's son, Dean Paul Martin, died in a similar crash in these same mountains. His F-4 Phantom fighter jet slammed into San Gorgonio Mountain during a snowstorm, almost exactly 10 years after Dolly's accident. What are the odds that two members of the infamous Rat Pack would lose close family members so dear to them in similar circumstances in approximately the same area? These parallel tragedies created a bond between Frank and Dean that transcended their already cherished friendship. Even though these individuals are long past, the mountain remains as a silent memorial to the deep loss shared by both men. The stories of Dolly Sinatra and Dean Paul Martin are forever intertwined with the stark landscape of the San Gorgonio Range, where the desert meets the sky and where two entertainment dynasties suffered irreplaceable losses. May they all rest in eternal peace. Thanks for watching, and let me know in the comments if you would like to see some more of these documentary-style videos in addition to our filming locations, celebrity graves, and celebrity home tours. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already, and you'll be the first to know anytime a new video is posted. Thanks a lot. See you on the next one.